Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and today in this video I'm going to do another one of my favorite segments, another coffee and story time. And today's coffee and story time. I can't talk today. Okay, and today's coffee and story time video, I'm so sorry, is going to be the story about how somebody tried to get me to loan them money to print off a picture at a library. So this is a story about how if you want to print things at a library, I know it's annoying when it costs money to print things, but you should always bring your own money to print stuff off. You should never ask other people to print things off unless you have to print it off for like school or whatever. And it's just a huge waste of other people's money to have them print things for you when it's just a picture. But if it's really important and you don't have money on you should ask somebody. But mostly it's really important to bring your money if you want to waste your money on something. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys learn about how important it is to make sure you remember to bring your own money. And I know we have moments where sometimes we forget our money, but you should mostly remember to bring money with you just in case you want to print something off or waste your money on something your own money on something and not other people's. So I'm going to get started. Sorry. So this all started about 5 years ago. I was at a local library. I was doing some education because I was practicing my concept of time, because at that time I didn't really have much of a concept of time, and I didn't know how hours worked, how many hours and everything. So I was not understanding how hours work, so I tried everything I could. I found a better way, like to do a stopwatch to keep track of what hour you start and everything to what hour, so then you can know how many hours you've worked and everything. So I had to do that a lot for work, a lot of time management, and I was really bad at it. So I was getting some help and practice on it. And I was with a group of people because we were at the local day program, and my supervisor was helping me, and we were working on the activity. Then I'm approached by Print. I'm just going to give this person the name Print because he wanted to print off some pictures. And he asked, can you loan me 25 cents to print off a picture? And if you guys have been to a library, or if you go to a school that prints things, I'm sure you all know, like in college, you got to pay for things to be printed, or if you're at a library, you have to pay for things to be printed, and it's like 25 cents to print things, and that's quite a lot of money. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but if you have to print several different pages, it is quite pricey to print. And I did not have 25 cents on me, and I didn't want to loan this person money because I wanted to save my money for my emergencies. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't have 25 cents to print off. And so then he asked the supervisor, he's like, Print asked the supervisor if she had any money to loan him to print off something. And she's like, I'm sorry, but I don't have any money. And then he won't listen because he still wants money. But he's like, can you please loan me 25 cents? And I look at him like, I just told you no, I'm sorry, but you should have brought your own money to print off a picture if you wanted to print a picture off, yada, yada, yada. And I don't really like when people don't listen to me. It gets very frustrating. I was getting a little irritated because this person was not listening to me, and he kept going, oh, please. And I said, no. And I was about ready to yell at this person, but at the same time, I didn't want to, because one, I didn't want to hurt his feelings, and two, I was at a library, so I needed to be quiet. So I didn't want to cause a ruckus and make a scene. So I just kept quiet. I got up, walked away, and took a deep breath. And then I could tell the supervisor was having a chat with Print because he was not listening to us because we had told him that we couldn't loan him money because he should have brought his own money to print off his own pictures. And he needs to listen to when people say no, and how it's not polite to keep asking people to give him money when he should have brought his own, and yada, yada, yada. And it's not always polite to ask people for money. And finally, he just stops. I come back after taking a deep breath because I didn't want to make a scene, because one, we were in a library and I didn't want to yell so loud. And two, I didn't want to hurt this person's feelings, because when I'm pushed, my limits get pushed, I can lose my temper. I will yell, I will get mad, I will snap, and probably like yell or so loud that everybody could hear me, which is pretty embarrassing. So I didn't want to do that in a library because I didn't want to make so much noise, and I didn't want to get us kicked out of the library. So I was super happy that I dealt with the situation by just walking away, getting up, and taking a deep breath. So after that, I come back, and then finally Print stops asking us, and he goes to sit down, and he just does some reading of a comic book or something he brought. And finally, I'm just like so happy. And then my supervisor had a chat with me, and I was a little nervous because I thought I was going to get in trouble for walking away. But she said, "That's good that you walked away when he wasn't listening to you and you were getting frustrated, blah, 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 blah. It's really good that you didn't yell at him, yada, yada, yada. Thank you for not doing that." And she was really proud of me that I just got up and walked away instead of yelled at this person. And I'm like, thank you. Normally, I don't know how to deal with people getting on my nerves, blah, 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 blah. I still don't know how to do it today, but I'm still working on it. And sometimes when somebody pushes my limits, I kind of snap and yell, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't want to yell at him in a library because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, and I didn't want to be so loud in the library. She goes, "That's a good thing that you got up and walked away, blah, 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 blah. He really should have been more prepared and brought his money, and that's good that you got up and walked away, because it's not good to yell at people or yell in a library, blah, 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 blah." Well, I'm super proud of you for doing that and handling it maturely. And I felt much better once I did that, and once I had a talk with the supervisor about that. And I'm glad she made me feel better, because it can be quite frustrating when someone doesn't understand no. And I was super happy that she told me that I handled it really maturely and well. And then after that, I just continued with my time management activity, and we worked on it on our education stuff until we had to leave. So the moral of the story is, if you want to waste your money on something little like printing off pictures, you at a library or somewhere that you have to pay to print off, make sure you bring your own money. Don't ask other people for money, because other people have their own budgets. Other people need to save their money for certain things, and it's not always a good idea to ask people for things that are a waste of money. You should always bring your own money so you can waste your own money on that. Don't ask other people for their money that they might need for emergencies, because it's not fair to waste other people's money on something like printing off pictures that you just want to keep randomly. So you should just always make sure you keep your own money with you and not ask other people for money. So that was a story about how someone pestered me to try to print pictures off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for, well, actually, I meant to say pestered me to loan him money to print pictures off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you learned a valuable lesson about responsibility and how important it is to bring your own money for things you want to spend your own money on. Don't waste other people's money on something that might be a waste of money to them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And I also hope you learned a valuable lesson about how important it is to deal with someone who doesn't listen to you and get up and walk away rather than yell. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. I'm gonna end this video before I talk way too much. Bye!